Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Good to be here after a crazy week.
We're
coming off SummerSlam. We're coming off one of the best Raws of the year. I would even say one of the best Raws maybe in the past 5 years.
Recent history.
Recent memory for sure.
Right.
What up, everyone? Everyone, thank you for being here.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
First order of business off the bat. I don't think we have a date yet set for these, but if you couldn't tell, sorry, I'm checking to see if we got the green light for launch. No, we do not, but we do have some new merch coming up. I'll post a little picture of the back so you can see it, and then we have these cool little summer koozies.
Hell yeah!
Boom!
Look at those options.
Yeah, it kind of plays on the the newer SummerSlam logo with the star. And for legal reasons, no, it doesn't. and then the back is kind of like a Bash at the Beach, but also Bash in Berlin, but like beach summer. It's all summer themed.
Yeah, all summer themed.
They're supposed to come out at the end of August. We don't have an exact date yet, but stay on the lookout. If you're a part of the Patreon or even just the Discord, I think you're gonna get early access.
Hell yeah,
that's the word on the street.
That's a perk.
That leads me into the plug before we get into the episode. This is today's free episode. If you want today's episode ad-free, as well as a bonus episode that we're going to record right after this, go to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. For $5.99 a month, you get that and also the entire archive. So all the old bonus episodes and all the old episodes, whatever, are also there. And like you said, you get early access.
You're just feeding me reasons to
sign
up.
It's good.
That's one of the best deals around.
We got a good community there. It also gives you Discord access. You can participate in group predictions like people did this week, and we got some winners in there, and we got a predictions winner here today in this room.
I don't know who it is.
So
he does.
Apparently, word on the street is, and I did double check, we tied.
You gotta be shitting me.
25-25. We tied. And you know what saved you? You changing your pick to
Drew McIntyre,
and you had that for what, 1 point?
Are you shitting me?
It would have been 25-24, and I would have won. Yep.
Damn.
That saved you. So you retain.
Okay.
Champion retains.
Summer of Dante.
It
continues, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, first of all, we'll get into it, but SummerSlam was crazy. SummerSlam was awesome. The fact that with the 7 matches and the confidence points and all the little bonus points, whatever, the fact that we still ended up with it. I did see some people being like that they're not a fan of the confidence points and stuff like that, and it feels like it doesn't always work. This is the first time I feel like we've tied doing something like this. So
and it's a crazier tie.
Yeah,
so for what it's worth.
For what it's worth, that's very unlikely to happen. So hey, great minds think alike.
I'm gonna turn the fan on here. I don't know if you're.
No, I'm cool with that. I got sweatpants on, so I don't mind a little AC action.
Okay, what do we got? Figuring this out. This happens every single episode. Okay, mode. Okay, fan. Okay, that feels good.
Go.
Okay.
Oh, I feel it. There we go.
Okay. So today we're gonna go over SummerSlam with the Raw stuff in it. So if there's, it's kind of gonna be all lumped in all together, but. Also, I don't know how you watch SummerSlam. I was at a little music festival, and then at the bar, and also waiting in line at stuff. And then whole time I'm watching, got on my phone in between bands, got on my phone.
Yeah, so, I was in the Cape, ready to go out for the night because it was Taylor's sibling's birthday.
Let's go.
So first of all, I thought the event started at 8. First and foremost. So I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it's 7:15. They're like, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan did what? And I'm like, wait, the match happened. The match is happening. So I'm we're getting ready. We didn't leave until 9, but I was watching it the whole time, and then go out. We're at a bar, had it playing the whole time. They had the Olympics on the TV, and then Shark Tank on the other TV, and I was put my phone right there. I was watching it, and the coolest thing was people were gravitating towards me. And they started watching it with me and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, isn't this great? Yeah. Wrestling on Peacock on my phone at a bar. I couldn't be bothered. It was amazing.
I did watch, because I obviously didn't catch all of it, but as I was out, I saw snippets of it, and then I rewatched the whole thing the morning after and got the full context.
We were leaving a bar to go to another, and as we were leaving that bar, I kept it going. And that's when the first topic that we'll talk about, I'm sure, happened. So it was pretty funny.
I caught Liv Morgan and Rhea while waiting in line.
Yep.
I caught a couple other matches, but then I remember we're at the bar. At this point, I was like, what? 11? It must have been like 11:30. And we're like, my friends are like ready to leave. And I'm like, wait.
No, hold on.
I think Roman's coming out. And then like I made them watch it. And then we're at the bar and he came out. My buddy Dan's into it. But yeah, no one else really congregated.
Yeah. We were like standing there ready to go, and like Cody and Solo were down. Like, all right, I was like, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah. But so with that said, we're gonna start out with the hottest news. It's Cody Rhodes defeating Solo Sikoa with the help from the returning true tribal chief Roman Reigns,
the original tribal chief.
Insane. The match itself was honestly a lot better than I think anyone expected.
I agree. Yeah.
I had a good time.
The Bloodline Rules concept helps a lot for sure. Getting other people involved and stuff.
I'd say even before that though, it was a good time.
It was good. I think it was like Solo Sikoa. It kind
of allowed for all the shenanigans and the later half of the match. So like you were saying, Bloodline Rules kicked in. Tonga, Loa, Fatu made their presence felt. They're doing their thing. Randy and Kevin Owens run down to help out Cody. They run down whoever. Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu came out after. Whatever. Yeah. Fatu hits a splash on Cody through the announce table. Seems to kind of legitimately hurt his leg, and then which hopefully a speedy recovery. Hopefully he.
I think it was confirmed that it was. He was playing it.
Oh, really? Oh,
he was in a walking boot after.
That's I saw the boot.
But the reports are saying that he just really sold it. Because I think it's smart for them to have done something like that because it kept him and the returning Roman Reigns away from each other. I did like that idea.
And then Roman Reigns music hits.
New music.
Yeah, it's
but a little different.
Like a new beginning.
Yes.
I think they needed like I'd be curious if they stick with it. We'll see on Friday. But I think they need that return hit.
Because it's kind of like a slow build up.
Yeah, because if his return hit and it started with just like so I think they needed that like boom.
It gives me more of a final boss type of vibe.
He runs in, hits a Superman punch on Solo and a spear.
Crowd was going crazy.
The loudest ooh wah fucking ever. Kind of allows for Cody to get the pin. 1, 2, 3 the whole time. Cody before he even leaves the ring, Roman's kind of looking at him. Leaves the ring. Cody pins
like
him,
a little wink
staring at him.
Too.
I think so. My takeaway from the looks is it was. One, a look of respect. Mm-hmm. I think that was the coolest thing. Is you could tell that like they respect each other, they acknowledge each other. You could even say, but also that look is still like, but we still got a rivalry.
It's like consider this as a favor. Like you're welcome type of thing.
I'll see you down the line.
And Cody said in the I don't want to jump around too much.
No,
but
please.
In the press conference, he was talking about like, and I don't know how true this is. I'm sure that Cody is great at keeping kayfabe and stuff like that, but he was like, me and him haven't even like interacted since Mania. Like as soon as Roman lost, he just left or whatever. So he never had a moment. That wouldn't shock me, but at the same time, I do feel like they definitely had a moment together.
I do love like the videos or whatever that you'll see. Like the second the match is over, like in Gorilla, they hug each other.
Right.
And if I had to guess, that's what happened.
I would lean more on that side. Yeah. But Cody was like, he is owed a rematch and stuff, and he was talking about there being a third match. In my opinion, I don't know if I want them to have a third match because I feel like it's one of those rivalries where it could be like a Rock Austin thing. They had their 3 Mania matches, or it could be like a Rock Cena where like they both got one win on each other, and you just kind of keep it there. No one gets one up in each other. But besides the point, I think it was a really cool moment just kind of see like it was, I want to say, the worst kept secret. A lot of people were, assuming that Roman was going to come back, go after Solo, but just kind of seeing those extra like the wink he gave him and like kind of like he was outside the ring looking
Yeah, I
thought that was a cool little things they put in there.
I loved the mutual respect. I loved and I mean, like they're obviously we're running Roman solo, where it looks like we're doing bloodline. I'm sure The Rock is going to come back and face one. So like, there's so much to do before I think we can even want to think about the third match.
100%.
Yes, and I'm with you, because I hope they don't.
If they do that, it would have to be.
They don't jump to it.
Right,
yeah,
100%.
I could even see like that might be even WrestleMania 42. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So that was great. Unbelievable moment. Roman Reigns is going to be on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yes, he is.
I'm sure this is gonna, I mean, obviously, he speared Solo. Looks like we're gonna lead into the Solo feud. I'd imagine on SmackDown he's gonna run down like they're not the real bloodline. Solo said he was the tribal chief. Maybe we get like a Jimmy return. Maybe we get a Paul Heyman return. I don't know. SmackDown's gonna be interesting. But
they're definitely planting the seeds. WWE Triple H does this thing where they like very subtle. Like they'll throw out like a YouTube video and it'll kind of be like kind of like wink wink, like what like come to expect this. And the one they posted yesterday was Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jay, like early bloodline stuff, whatever. And like obviously now they're doing the Sammy J backstage stuff, and they're teasing what's to come.
It's funny how I almost feel like nostalgic for like OG bloodline. You know,
sure,
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, compared to like what we're seeing now, like the bloodline we're given, it's just like, even though it's only a year or so removed, like we're still like looking forward to it going back to what it was. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And now they're
the better days,
and it's like he's coming. He's now the biggest baby face on the roster.
Yeah,
the crowd loves him.
I mean, this is the first time we're gonna see Roman Reigns as a baby face, but like well liked, you know what I mean?
On
like,
purpose getting cheered.
Like, yeah, this isn't like big dog Roman Reigns like pre-pandemic where he was being forced down people's throats and people were being forced to cheer for him even though they really weren't.
Right.
Now we're seeing a legit like real Roman Reigns babyface run, and I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna go great. But it's gonna be different.
I don't think like what's gonna be nice. I don't think his character is gonna change at all.
No,
but it's just like the tone is different, and now he has different rivals that now people don't like.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic, great. I'm sure we'll have more to say after we hear what starts of it and what kind of comes out from Roman on SmackDown.
It'll be cool to see how they go about it, like when Paul Heyman might come back, when Jimmy might come back, like how they'll kind of progress the story. Because I can't imagine. I mean, I could, but like, I wonder if they'll just give us Paul and Jimmy on this SmackDown, or like kind of.
I think we'll spread it out a little bit. I think we'll start slow.
I agree.
We're again, like I said, we are jumping around. We're going all the way to the Wyatt Sicks on Raw. We're gonna go back to SummerSlam, but I want to make sure we cover the important stuff. Big stuff. In the main episode, Wyatt Sicks debut and defeat the newly named American Made.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Let's even start with that. They come out matching singlets.
Love it.
New Titantron, new theme song.
The theme song, they give you a little space in between for fans to cheer "You Suck," and they started catching on to it the first time around. As time goes on, I'm sure those "You Suck" chants are going to get louder and louder.
There was even they had like the Chad Gable and like the dark American flag.
Yeah.
American Made is fucking sick.
It's a shame. It's not a shame, but like it's tough that like you put together this group, whatever, and then like debut match they got.
Yeah.
I mean I get it, but like
I think this is the only like rare instance that's like you're facing supernatural or they're not supernatural, but like for the most part.
Yeah.
You're facing these monsters. I think in any other case, I would be like American Made should not lose
for sure.
In this case, the Wyatt Sicks faced an incredible 3 opponents. And
great first match.
Everyone looked good. They came out to Shattered by Code Orange, which I guess was Bray's latest theme before he passed. It fit them so well.
They had the lantern on the chair.
Uncle Howdy and Sister Abigail like watching the match in the rocking chair. Rowan Lumix and what's the
Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I only know him as the Buzzard or whatever. No, he was Porky or whatever.
Husky.
Yeah, Husky the pig boy.
Husky the pig boy.
Yeah, Husky the pig boy.
Piggy, a little piggy.
When they first started calling him Pig Boy, I was like, what?
Yeah, and then
everyone looks so good.
Mm-hmm. Joe had a crazy. He got he did like the not springboard, but like he did like the flipped handstand turnaround clothesline. It was sick.
Dexter Loomis was being thrown all the way around.
Frog splashes. Eric Rowan looked dominant.
Yeah, it was cool to see Rowan like get the hot tag and be like the big man that everyone's like, waiting for. There was a lot of, especially from Rowan.
Yep.
There was a lot of references in his moves to Bray and Luke Harper, which he even did like the Luke Harper hand thing that he does.
Yeah.
Really good match. Really cool.
I like the shots when they would go to Uncle Howdy on the chair, just like laughing and kind of loving what he was seeing and everything. And I don't think they played it. Well, when the match ended to close the show, they all got together. They had the lantern. They were in the middle of the ring. But after, I don't know if you saw the video. I forget what account posted it. But it was after the match and Bo Dallas and Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan were like hugging after the match. And they were pointing up at the sky.
Oh, wow. I didn't
see
that.
They knew that it was
That's nice.
A tribute to Bray, obviously. Great start. And we kind of talked about, I'm thrilled that they're allowing them to they have these monster characters, when they do these packages and they do they're trying to scare people. But when it comes to wrestling, the masks come off. They're allowed to go. I love that aspect, and that I think this is a great start, and I think they're in great hands.
I'm so hyped.
I think this is going to be a really good story, and they're going to do them well.
And honestly, for all 6 of these men looked so good.
100%.
Like we were talking about American Made too. I'm excited to see. I'm hoping maybe this is. I don't think the Wyatt Sicks and American Made need to keep feuding. Mm-hmm. I'd say maybe. Well, I don't know.
I would maybe Uncle Howdy and Chad still. That's
the thing. We still need to see Uncle Howdy in ring solo. But I like that they gave us the 3 henchmen, you could say. And we're still waiting for Abigail. We're still waiting for Uncle Howdy to get in the ring.
100%.
But yeah, I don't think this could have gone better. I'm excited to see the future and see what happens.
For both.
And for both, generally for both of them. But yeah, no, this was fantastic. Mm-hmm. We'll move on. Going back to SummerSlam. Liv Morgan retains the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley in a fantastic opener.
It was a great opener.
This was so good. These two have great chemistry. I think they work with the size difference really well. Rhea, throughout the whole match, sold her arm that it popped out of her socket.
The way she went into the announce table and
slams it into the announce table, slams it, and just fucking, but so fucking sick. Yeah. I'm just bang, bang, I'm good.
She's a badass.
Holy shit, she's sick. Dom stops Rhea from using a chair on Liv. And
that was justified, though. He's like, hey, if you hit her, you can't win the belt. That made sense.
It made sense.
I was like, oh, maybe they're not. He's being smart here.
Yep. And then we see his true colors a little after. He distracts the referee, allows Liv to hit her finisher on the chair. 1, 2, 3. Dom helps Liv pick up the win. And then Dom kisses Liv after with Rhea looking on. Woo!
Oh,
what an opener!
Poor
this
mommy.
Was crazy.
You see Samantha Irvine. They showed the footage of her reacting to it, and she was pissed that Liv won, and then she sees them kissing, and she goes,
yeah,
and she just goes, oh, mommy, she was so upset for Rhea.
I didn't see that specifically, but I do love that they seem like they always have a camera on her for moments like that, and I've seen
great reactions.
Yeah, it seems very genuine.
Yes, for sure.
And, this was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the thing with SummerSlam is things happened that people kind of were anticipating happening. We were saying, Dom is going to turn on Rhea and turn with Liv. That's just kind of the vibe we were getting and stuff, and it happened. But it's just the way it was executed was done really well.
Yeah.
How the hell does a heel have another heel turn? Dom just got even more hated.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
Yeah.
I for what it's worth, he just went from a mega heel to a mega heel.
Right.
And now Rhea obviously was she was a heel. she probably came back like as a baby face. Where like now Rhea's like for sure a baby face and everything. A lot of turns this weekend. Roman being a baby face, Damian, Rhea back to being baby faces.
They're really obviously they're trying to make SummerSlam like WrestleMania 2, not WrestleMania, not WrestleMania number 2, but WrestleMania. You know,
I think
because it's moving to 2 nights, and with it being as good as it was. People are calling this, and I don't disagree, one of the best SummerSlams of all time. People are claiming that.
I think this might have been the best pay-per-view of the year, to be honest with you. I think it's up there with night 2 of WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania was this year.
I really do. I think, I genuinely think from start to finish, okay? I'm not saying that it was the best, but from start to finish, this may have been the best PLE that Triple H put on. Because I don't think there was a bad result. I think everything that happened was good. I think just the title changes, the turns and stuff. I think everything was just done so well that it was like there wasn't a dull moment in the show where I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Like it was just a really, really good show.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But yeah, we got a new power couple. Dom
so that we got a couple. Well, maybe not couple, but duo. We got power couples and power duos. We'll talk about what happened on Raw. Finn via Titantron while Damien's out talking. Finn explains that let me think. There's a lot to happen. All right, maybe we go to
Damien. Gunther.
Yeah, I guess we go to Damien Gunther first.
Then we'll do judgment.
And then because it all wraps in. All right. I had that somewhere, but that's okay. All right, Damien Gunther. And then we'll talk about what happened on Raw with everyone.
Another really good match.
This was great.
This was a really good match.
Damien was, first of all, they were chopping the shit out of each other, as you would expect.
He held his own, man. I'll be
Damien was chopping Gunther so hard, he made Gunther's chest bleed.
Like, early
that
on,
shit was
too.
crazy.
Yeah.
This was good. I think this is a highlight. One of Damien's best matches for sure, and I think also a highlight in Gunther's career. In term match, well, obviously because what happened, for sure. But like match quality wise, I think this is up there with some of his best. Yeah, they're beating the shit out of each other, blah, blah, blah. Just as Damien seemed like he might have had it won, Finn Balor's been out there kind of circling the ring. Finn Balor jumps in, puts Gunther's leg on the rope to prevent the 3 count.
Damien doesn't see it,
and then looks at the replay, which is
love it.
Gunther, I think earlier in the match, even like Gunther looked at it, which is like, I think Gunther looked at like the one on the stage or whatever. I love that little aspect of like, these are competitors and they're athletes, and when something doesn't go right or whatever, they're not they're
self-aware.
They know there's a fucking screen there.
Self-aware. Self-awareness goes a long way in wrestling.
Why wouldn't they look at the screens?
Yeah.
I thought that was a really, really nice touch for the both of them.
And
Damien looks at the replay.
He's hand on his hips.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell?
And he turns at
sees what Finn did, blah, 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 Finn turn. Damien goes to grab Finn. The distraction allows Gunther to take advantage to submit Damien. Boom,
what I loved was Gunther puts him in the sleeper, and then Damien kind of like gets going.
He did get out,
and the first thing he does is go and grab Finn, and then got pulled again, passed out, whatever.
And Gunther is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
And may I add, that belt looks
damn good on
him.
Looks damn good.
Looks good enough. Well, I don't think he's losing it for at least a year and a half.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying how it is.
We'll go into what he did on Raw then, and then we'll circle all the way back about Judgment Day stuff. So on Raw, Gunther comes out gloating, saying, "You thought what I did with the IC title was impressive. Oh. Watch what I do with this."
Yeah, he ain't losing.
Unbelievable.
He ain't losing it.
All of a sudden, all the way from Friday Night SmackDown.
Yep.
The draft means something.
Yep.
Randy Orton's music hits.
I love it because Gunther was like, there is nothing that can catch me off guard. Yeah. There is nothing that can get me by surprise. And Randy comes out and he goes, I'll tell you, Randy, that caught me off guard.
that get me off guard.
So funny.
The perfect opponent.
It is. It really is.
So here's what Randy said. It's logic. It makes fucking sense. Randy goes, first of all, he goes, at King of the Ring, at King and Queen of the Ring, did you really beat me? He goes, my shoulders aren't down. Everyone saw it. Triple H saw it. But I like what he did. He brought this up So I think it's still a valid thing, and it was a valid criticism when it happened. But he also didn't discredit, as a vet. I mean, Randy's a vet. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He didn't discredit Triple H. He didn't discredit the referees. He didn't discredit the decision. But at the same time, gave reason to. But still,
he's like, I'm old enough. He goes, I'm experienced enough to know that happens. I have to respect it.
He said that's what Triple H said. He said Triple H says the referee's decision is final, and I'm a vet. I get it.
And he's like, I can't help but think the reason why that belt's on your shoulders is because of me. Like, you had to beat me to have it. So
my favorite line was, I think Gunther called himself a legend or something like that. And then Randy goes, "You think you're a legend?" And when Randy said that, I went,
what?
Huh?
And
he goes, "Well, I made a career out of killing legends."
Love that. So good.
Oh, Legend Killer Randy is I love Legend Killer Randy.
I know.
So it's made official. We are getting Randy Orton versus Gunther, set for Bash in Berlin for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm fucking amped.
And what's going to be great about this title reign and this in general is Gunther, he's a fighting champion. Like he said,
yes.
Like Randy said all that, and Gunther's like, I'm not disagreeing with you. He goes, and honestly, like, he goes, me beating you the way I did, like, leaves a stain. And he goes, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that bothers me. And he goes,
he wants to be the best champion.
He wants to rewrite that. He goes, the only way for me to be able to get over that is to actually beat you one-on-one. And I great first opponent. Again, they're bringing a guy over from SmackDown. That's confusing. They also, granted, they had A-Town Down Under on Raw, but they said beforehand that they did, like, some sort of handshake agreement, so I guess some Raw people are going to be on SmackDown. Whatever. So at least they're trying to cover their tracks. But no, even though he's from SmackDown, I think it makes sense.
In the way of like, do it.
Yes, Gunther did beat Randy to get to this point, but did he actually beat him? And it's all self-awareness and logic goes a long way in wrestling, and it just makes it make more sense. Like, you don't have to be creative and funny of going around ways. Just be honest and just like bring logic into it, and it makes sense. So it's gonna be a great match.
They're gonna put on a banger. Their first match was so good. I think they're gonna top it.
He said like he compared it to like Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, and he goes, I know, like, I can keep up my, and I'm paraphrasing, I know I can keep up my end, but will you, or something like something along those lines.
Or he was like, I think he said, I know I'm one of those. Is the other one in the ring? Or something
I forget
like
the wordage of it, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I think it's
gonna be great.
It's perfect.
I'm excited.
It's also the perfect, like, obviously Randy's losing.
Yeah,
but it's the perfect, like, there's no one more on the roster more legitimizing or legitimate than Randy Orton.
And I think
he's fucking Randy Orton.
Even though you're right, like, Gunther's gonna win. They're not gonna cut the reign short of a month.
Right.
But if there is someone that it's like,
it's not the craziest thing.
It's not the craziest thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say there's a 0% chance. I think it's a low % chance. But I think someone like Randy gives you that legitimate, like, he's a 14-time champ. Maybe they'll give him the 15. Who knows? But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll go all the way back to Judgment Day, staying on Raw. So now, Finn Balor, Titantron, we're back to this. Damian in the ring. Finn Balor saying, I did what I did because, this has all been boiling over. They showed an old picture of, like, Damian looking at him in the ring. Finn was like, when we started Judgment Day, there weren't supposed to be leaders. That was our whole thing. No leaders. We're all equals. And then you got the World Heavyweight Championship. That all changed. Blah, blah, blah. And then Finn's like, I'm coming for you. And he said, I'm not, which this part I didn't love. He goes, and we're coming for you. And into the shot steps.
Carlito and JD McDonough.
Steps. Which Dom and Liv makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Dom's not supposed to be intimidating, but Dom makes sense. Liv is the fucking champion. Fantastic, whatever. Carlito and JD McDonough step in. What are you, crazy?
Yeah,
what are you, insane?
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
The new Judgment Day and the new Bloodline. It's like the Dollar Tree version.
It really is, dude.
I mean, like, this is kind of what we were expecting, though. I mean, Carlito is just, he's around for comedic value. He's not really meant to add too much. JD is there because him and Finn are the champ. At least they gave JD a video package, I believe, later on.
Yeah,
so
like,
they're trying. And he did have a good match with Damian later on in the night. But
without Rhea and Damian,
it's not as intimidating.
They look so weak.
I feel like they need like one new member.
Yeah, they need a person.
Like I don't want to say like a bodyguard.
Need some muscle.
Need muscle.
Need a muscle for sure.
Muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's great. Like we're talking about logic, more logic. Things make sense.
The feud.
Yeah, I mean Damian versus Finn is gonna go crazy.
I don't know when, because we have Bash at Berlin, another one. Then I think Bad Blood. I was seeing people are like, it's gonna be like treated like a top tier pay-per-view. Like we could have a lot of like blow off matches.
I mean, a Damian versus Finn at a pay-per-view called Bad Blood makes sense.
Like Roman Solo, Finn, Damian, Punk, McIntyre again you can do. I mean, I'm looking into the future, but this feud, I mean, it's been a long time coming. Also, I mean, last year's SummerSlam, Damian Priest cost Finn the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth, because Finn was at the top rope. Damian comes out with a briefcase. Finn's like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Seth gets the upper hand, wins, whatever. So, in a way, it's justified. Finn's cost him before. Damian's cost Finn before. He goes, I'm getting my lick back. A year later, but he got his lick back.
Yeah, he was. I think in his Titantron, he was like, or in his video package, he was like, I bided my time for a year. I waited for this for a year, and I found my moment.
Long-term booking, you gotta love it.
And then later in the night, Damian Priest defeats JD McDonough. And here's the thing: JD McDonough, not intimidating. I think he's bad in the role of being this intimidating guy.
Yeah, he's too small.
He's too small and too silly.
He can wrestle. He can go.
He's unreal in the ring.
Yeah, he can go.
He can sell his ass off. He has one of the best moonsaults in the company. He's really, really good. I just think him being that like Finn's intimidating right-hand man doesn't suit him
also
very
just
well.
Standing next to Damian Priest, it's like you're looking at it, it's like, well, there's no way he's gonna.
Yeah, speaking of the image of that though, I do like, and we'll talk about Rhea too. They're out of the not the bloodline, Jesus Christ. They're out of Judgment Day.
Yep.
No more purple. They're just wearing black clothes. It's not a little less leather.
Sure.
Damian's rocking the Vin Diesel tank and the
Dom
cross.
Toretto.
Dom Toretto. He went
from bisexual Undertaker to Dom Toretto.
Yep. So this match happens. Blah blah.
JD McDonough, I'm not gonna lie, took one of the most brutal choke slams.
So
the air that he got was insane.
Judgment Day come out. They attack. They interrupt. Blah blah. Rhea Ripley's music hits. She comes running in. They clear house. And like you said, and then the choke slam, fucking, oh my God, a mile high. Dude. That shit was crazy.
Takes two to tango. Damian's a big guy, but JD definitely caught some air. He definitely gave a good leap when he picked him up.
We have you could even say reintroducing the Terror Twins.
Is that their official name?
That's what they're calling them.
Okay.
Apparently
I like it.
Apparently they're like friends in real life.
Yes.
I guess their duo has always been the Terror Twins. It even kind of harpens back to the original Judgment Day with Edge and these two.
I'm glad they're keeping them together. I don't think it's necessarily something where like Rhea needs to come out with Damian every time.
No.
In fact, it's just like they're friends. They help each other when they need it. But like that there's still that connection there.
Yeah, and my takeaway is I think we're getting Damian Rhea, Liv Dom.
Yeah,
that's what I. That's I mean, why not?
Or even Liv Finn if you want to just
mix and match. Yeah, either or.
But yeah, no, there's definitely going to be a combination of matches and so there. But yeah, no,
they look
great together.
Sick,
they do.
Dude.
They really do.
The Terror Twins.
It's a good name. It's a good name for both of them.
So I'm excited to. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't know how much they're gonna be still together as a team, but for at least now, them like taking down the Judgment Day, whether this is gonna lead to the end of the Judgment Day, I don't know. Yep. For all intents and purposes, it's kind of the end of the Judgment Day.
I mean, I hope, like we've talked about this, I hope Judgment Day is just like a group that's like revolving members.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to disband the group. Like right now we have the new Judgment Day, and then eventually someone will get brought in, and then maybe they'll kick out Carly. I don't know. I don't think it's something it's definitely lesser than what it was before, but I don't think you have to.
It can go through its phases.
Yeah, exactly.
Bron Breakker defeats Sami Zayn to win the Intercontinental Championship. Wasn't a squash, but it was a squash. It was on the shorter side.
It was decisive.
Yeah, this was great. I'm not gonna sound like a broken record and start being this should have happened before and they should have happened the first match. Whatever. Braun has it now.
Yep.
Wasn't as good as their first match. Just kind of lends to the reasoning of maybe they just should have just had this one.
Sure.
And then whatever. But regardless, can't wait. Braun's awesome.
It's gonna be an awesome reign.
He looks good with the title.
He does.
Like you said, it feels like it felt like a. People have been using the term reset, which I don't think reset. I don't think reset insinuates there was something bad and that they needed a restart. It just feels like a season premiere. It feels like a new start, new champions, new feuds, and Braun is I'm excited.
Yeah,
I don't have much else to say about it, but
I'm just curious what Sami Zayn. Well, I think Sami Zayn might start to
some bloodline stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say I wonder what's next, but I feel like that's definitely the direction we're gonna go down.
I want. We talked about this last week, and I think they're getting closer. But I would love a Jay and Sammy tag title run.
Big time.
Maybe like in the meantime, while they're waiting for their time to get back in the bloodline stuff, put them in the tag division.
Also,
Fuck it.
someone pointed out too when they did the draft months ago, Roman Reigns never he withdrew his name, so he never got.
That's right. He was
never got drafted to a single brand, so he could float around.
Yeah.
And go to Raw and try to
I mean, once
talk to Jay and Sammy.
Once Raw goes to Netflix, like
Roman is going to be a hot commodity for sure.
LA Knight defeats Logan Paul.
Yes, he did.
To win the United States Championship.
Yeah.
Fun match.
It was.
Fantastic match. Elephant in the room. Just going to talk about the in-ring stuff with Paul here.
Yeah.
Someone has to take away his phone sometimes.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. But and people are claiming that what he said on social media was like a big reason why he lost the title.
Nah,
I don't agree with that.
I don't believe that.
I think the plan was always for LA Knight to get it.
Right.
However,
doesn't matter.
We can still sit here and be like, maybe he shouldn't have the login info.
Maybe keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, maybe get him a social media manager.
Yeah,
maybe
PR
get him a
team or something.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Just stick to wrestling.
Right.
Stick to wrestling. Anyways.
With that said, great match.
His moonsault.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah, exactly.
His moonsault was really fucking impressive.
I know. It sucks.
It sucks,
but
man, I've never seen something like that, bro. It was really fucking good.
Yeah, it was what was it, like the fucking, it was like he did a springboard fucking.
Spun around, did the back flip.
Yeah, no, shit was
amazing.
Shit was crazy. LA Knight hit a superplex, almost turned into a brain buster off the top. That was scary.
Definitely unintentional.
Yeah.
The way of the landing there, but
we got a buckshot lariat into a BFT to end the night. LA Knight is your new U.S. champion. He looks good. Yeah, it's great.
Looks great with the belt. I think
it's the right decision.
It was time.
Now or never.
It was time for him to finally get his hands on something. You can really just like strap the rocket to him, see what he can do with this belt, and hopefully it just catapults him into, the world championship picture down the line. But start somewhere.
I'm excited for like I think he needs to be like the mid card champion for a while.
Yeah.
It sucks to say, I could see LA Knight never touching the world title.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many top tier superstars. He's a guy that his name might be in the hat.
I think he's deserving of it, but it's like, I don't know. We've seen the case of LA Knight before.
There's so much going on with that title and the world championships. Like, when would he?
I mean, Gunther's gonna hold it. He's not getting Cody's title.
I really think the best chance of that happening is like a Money in the Bank situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point.
But anyway, I think him with the U.S. belt, like, I can see him carrying the belt into like a Royal Rumble Mania type of thing, where it's like he can hold on to it for like a good solid 8-9 months.
No, I think he's gonna have a pretty long run.
There shouldn't be a shorter reign. I know Logan Paul had it for a long time, third longest reign ever. So, people might be like, maybe not another long reign, but at least LA Knight's going to be on TV every week. He'll have defenses often, or at least you'd hope so, more than 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I mean, with Bron Breakker having the IC title, I think we're eventually going to get like Ilya involved and whatever.
Sure.
But I think for a little bit, we're going to see just dominant Bron Breakker. So I think the U.S. title now is going to be that like workhorse title.
Sure.
Like we're going to see competitive matches, like 50-50, whatever. And the IC title has always been that, and we'll get back to that once you start getting like Ilya, Braun, Carmelo, Braun, maybe I know Carmelo's on SmackDown, but whatever. But like for now, like give me LA Knight. I mean, you can get someone like Kevin Owens back in the U.S. title picture. You can get. I don't know. What are some other names we can have?
A match with Randy if you want to kind of give him a card thing. He was a former U.S. champ. I would say Bobby Lashley, but he's not around anymore, unfortunately. No, he's a tag team champion.
I mean, what I get again tag team, but I want to see like a Montez Ford. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Carmelo. You mentioned Carmelo, Andrade, all those guys.
I feel like. Yeah. Carmelo, I guess makes sense. Yeah.
No, I think he'll have a really good reign.
Nia Jax defeats Bayley to one, win the WWE Women's Championship, and 2, complete the King and Queen of the Rings.
I was gonna say
both winning the world titles.
Both won the world title.
Yes, they did.
I think that honestly, I think it's a good move for them to do this because it's really just like, hey. King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring kind of means something here. Like the people that won it this year won the championship. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think it's something. It was a good thing that they kind of capitalize on that bonus of winning King and Queen of the Ring.
Probably to no fault of their own, just because everything else was so good. I would probably say the weakest match on the card.
Sure,
but
that's not a bad thing.
No, we still got
no shot on them.
It was still a solid match. I think Nia winning is solid. It works with this with her whole run back. She's improved.
I think people are definitely a little harsher on the Bayley title run. People really weren't fans of it. I don't think it was terrible. I really don't. I don't think it was maybe what we were expecting after such a big build up and her winning at Mania. I'll say that
it wasn't really given its wings. Yeah. And it was solid. But
it was a solid run, but nothing crazy. I think Nia Jax, just like this is a testament to the hard work, to the work she's put in. I think she's at, right now, this is the best we've ever seen her in the company, period, whether it was her first run or second run. And it's just like, she's deserving of it. And she's a intimidating champion. Another person that could hold on to a belt for a little bit. Tiffany got a new briefcase as well.
Yeah, she did. The briefcase
the pink
looks
briefcase.
Sick.
So
she did.
Obviously, they're going to play into that.
I think she came out and teased, right? She came out and teased a cash
distracted Bayley.
And they ended up like walking away as friends or something at the end. Yeah.
So they're definitely going to play into that for a while, which they should.
Tiffany's going to have that. I mean, like the merchandise they're going to sell with that Barbie briefcase.
You got to run with that.
She's going to have that for a minute.
And eventually, I think it'll lead to Tiffany, turning, becoming a babyface and turning on Nia, cashing in whenever that may be. But I thought this was a good decision.
A cash in on Nia too is a good, like, 'cause she's like, the intimidating dominant force. What's her nickname? Something force, whatever her nickname
Irresistible
is.
Force.
Yeah. So having like a cash in and a turn on to like get the title off her, I think is a good way. Not that I'm already looking at the future to get the title off her, because I'm excited for her run.
Me too.
But yeah, there's definitely things planted. There's stories to be told.
For sure.
Speaking of stories to be told, Drew McIntyre defeats CM Punk.
Yes.
We got a lot here. We're going to start obviously with the SummerSlam match, go into Raw. First of all, we haven't really talked about it yet, but it seems like a new implementation of technology here. We got the referee cam. Yeah. It's fine. I don't love it.
They can't abuse it.
Yeah.
They can't show it too much.
Apparently, I saw a report this morning that apparently they were going to use it a lot more, but the battery fell out of Seth's. So Seth kind of ditched it. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I liked the shot, like, right as the bell rang and, like, Seth's, like, looking at the two and they, whatever. It doesn't feel... I love new technology. I love new ideas being implemented. I don't love this. I think it's like a UFC thing, right? Maybe.
I haven't even seen it in UFC personally. Maybe they have, and I just haven't. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have. I think they even used it maybe on. They might have used it on a Raw before. Maybe I just remember it from SummerSlam. I don't know. Either way, there hasn't been an instance yet where I'm like, that was cool.
I think there's certain shots. Like, I think they posted this after. I don't know if this was during the match when CM Punk was bashing Drew's head into the steel steps. And Seth's like watching. He goes, can I do that? He goes, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. And he's like laughing. He's like, oh. And then he starts tying his shoe. I thought that was funny.
It being a special guest referee match definitely added to it, and helped the technology.
But then they were using it during the Live and Rhea. Like, I think it's like you can use it for certain moments.
Right.
But I don't think it's something that should be...
Like, I kind of like the idea of, like, if it's like a close pin or something, and you cut to the camera, and you got the referee's angle,
like a replay, like use it as like a replay for something like that. It doesn't have to be like a live action, like live moment thing. Like you can just kind of look back using that cam.
Agreed.
Like, oh, people thought that was a 3 count. Let's get the ref's cam here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I don't really love seeing it mid match, but that's a good point. This was fun. They were beating the shit out of each other. It's not like this wasn't like a 6-star match or nothing, but I think it lived up. It did what it had to do, and I think it lived up to expectations.
100%. I agree.
This was. I had a lot of fun. There was so much story to be told. So they did this whole thing where Drew was wrestling with the bracelet. Punk eventually got the bracelet back. He lost it, and then Seth had it, and then Drew ended the night with it, leaving, and Drew ended up being the one with it. So the bracelet. And when Punk got it back, he kissed it, and that was great in and of itself. Like you were saying when we were talking about the ref stuff, Seth was very lenient through them,
very lenient.
So he's bashing his head in the steps, and Seth's like, that's fine. It's like small little things, like let it happen. Seth was really good. I loved the referee outfit he had. Thought that was fucking fantastic.
He played his role well.
He really did. I think what's nice about a special guest referee thing is like there's also a story to be told of like these guys have never been referees, so they're gonna mess up.
100%.
They're gonna miss a count.
There were times where Seth was like paying attention to something else, or he lost focus, and it was like a late count, whatever.
So when Seth had the bracelet, Punk sees him, before that even happened, Drew was gonna hit Punk with the steel chair, and that's when Seth drew the line. He's like, I've been lenient, but this is too far. Punk later in the match sees Seth with the bracelet, and I'm getting things mixed up, but like at some point there was a moment where like
it was on the ground and Seth throwing it. He was like, I'm just gonna put this on my wrist. He's like, I'm gonna hold on to it.
That happened, but I'm also thinking about the moment of like when Punk, or maybe this happened after the GTS. Sorry. He hits the GTS on Seth after seeing him with the bracelet. And somewhere around this area, Punk, which I know, I'm sure it's annoying to hear that I'm not getting the story straight, but Punk went for the pin. Seth just got hit with the GTS, so he was struggling to get the pin. It might have been the same instance, might have not, but either way, there was one instance where Seth didn't get to the count fast enough. Punk was pissed off because he was like, I would have had it if you fucking counted. And there was this moment where like Punk and Seth were yelling at each other, and they were like, this isn't always about you.
This was before the GTS. This was right before the GTS.
Because there was even a moment where Seth was even like, I'm not thinking to myself, I saved you from getting hit with a chair. Like, I'm calling this down the middle. And they were going back and forth like, stop making this about you, blah, blah, blah. That was a really, I kind of forget what the instance was.
Tensions were high.
And that was a cool moment playing in their story. But anyway, GTS, blah, blah, blah. There was a bunch of instances of like, Seth not getting the count.
He was hesitant blah, blah, blah. To count the 3 for Drew.
So, because what happened? Ended up, how'd that end? Do you remember how that ended?
So, hit him with the GTS. I think he took the bracelet from Seth.
Oh, then went to a Claymore?
And then turned around, got low blowed by Drew.
The low blow,
and he pushed him, hits him with the Claymore, and then Seth kind of crawls over. 1.
Yup, he was like
2, looks at him.
Yup.
3.
Yup.
Now, I have I guess I wouldn't call it a theory. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on right now. I'm looking towards the future. I think one day Not saying it's going to happen in the next few months. I'm not even going to say it's going to happen before WrestleMania. I think Seth and CM Punk will be friends one day. I think it's going to be a mutual. I think they're going to be a weird. I want to know if I want to turn them as a tag team. But I feel like there was things being planted in that match where it's like Seth really was more lenient towards Punk and was trying to help Punk out. Like the bracelet thing was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins took that because he was like, I'm going to hold on to this, whatever.
Yes.
Punk. Punk saw that and thought something else.
Right.
He wasn't stopping CM Punk from using the stairs are technically a weapon.
Right.
That wasn't stopping him from bashing Drew in, but as soon as Drew wanted to use a chair, he took that from him, and he was like telling CM Punk, "I'm trying to help you, blah 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 blah, this and that." And I think my thinking is that there's going to be some sort of mutual respect somewhere down the line where it's like we're one and the same, kind of.
Right.
And like
I hate you because you're the parts of me that I hate.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think one day we're going to see like a weird power trip duo. So not similar, but like I'm thinking like a Stone Cold Triple H type of thing where it's like they're both main event stars, but like they're a tag team, but they try to be better than each other. And that makes them really good. You know what I mean?
I
don't know. I'm just kind of getting that vibe where it's like, yeah, they hate each other, but like Rollins and Cody Rhodes, whether it was legit or not, didn't like each other when Cody first came back to WWE and stuff. And now they teamed up at War Games.
Right.
They were obviously teamed up at Mania this last year. Now they're buddy. I can see something similar happen with Punk and Rollins kind of, and also Punk's last real feud before leaving was against the Shield. And I don't know if his last one-on-one opponent was Seth, but his last 3 one-on-one matches were against Seth at one point, Dean Ambrose at one point, and Roman. So there is a history that they can kind of go back to. And I don't know. That's just kind of something I was conspiracizing.
I could see something like that happening after, like, let's say they do like a, they do a best of 3.
Sure.
Or
they'll have their
1-1. And it's like, after they beat the shit out of each other, and in 3 instances they nearly kill each other, and they realize like if we keep going, we're gonna murder each other, and then it's like a all right.
No, like Sheamus and Cesaro had the best of 7, and they were a team after. I think it's like let's just say they have a match at WrestleMania 1-on-1. Let's just say that's the match. Next night on Raw, they both come out.
Or even like at the end of that match, like a handshake.
Hands, like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I couldn't see nor want like a tag team or a real like budding friendship, but I would like to see like after everything, after a war, then it's like a mutual respect, and you finally get that like handshake. It's like, hey, and they still even hate each other.
I was gonna say, they still might not like each other, but like they respect each other. I don't know. I was just kind of
like that idea,
more that vibe than Seth and Drew. You know what I mean?
I like that idea of like the reason we dislike each other is because there's so much of you that there's so much of me that I see in you. And those are the parts that I don't like about myself.
They have they have a lot of differences. Yeah. They also have a lot of similarities. So I don't know. That's just something I thought of.
We'll go to Raw. CM Punk's out there.
Yep.
Talking about his loss to Drew. Seth comes to the ring. They're not friends at this point. Seth gets 1 foot in the ring. They're gonna scrap right there. Like, let's fucking go. Let's scrap right now. Let's do this. Drew McIntyre interrupts them from the crowd. He's talking his shit. Punk ultimately chooses to go after Drew, leaving Seth in the ring. Out of nowhere. Bronson Reed shows up.
Big Bronson Reed.
I can't emphasize this word enough. Decimates Seth Rollins. I guess this is like a little after, like him and Adam Pearce had a thing backstage, and Bronson Reed was like, I'm going to make a name for myself, whatever. 6 tsunamis from the top rope. He hits 1. He hits 2. All right, that's enough. Hits the 3rd one.
And after 2 or 3, the crowd's getting into
every single split. I've honestly, this was so impressive. I've never seen anything like this where obviously I've seen where like someone in the moment becomes a babyface and you do that in the match turn or something like that, but I've never seen someone come out, because when Bronson Reed came out, genuinely I was like, oh yeah, I was like I don't want Bronson Reed sad, like why? But he had the same effect on me like he did with the crowd, where after every tsunami, every single one got a louder pop, and it was like
and they were like, one more.
Yeah. By the end, by the sixth one, the crowd was going fucking crazy, and I was fucking sold.
There's making a statement, and then there's doing what he did.
It's the most impressive of getting yourself over with the crowd I've ever seen. It was crazy.
Right now, at this moment, Bronson Reed is more over than he's ever been in his WWE career.
And him doing that, like, in the ring, on his own, just by decimating Seth. Seth had to, good on Seth for eating that.
Yeah. He was spitting up the blood after. And
by the third one, they got security out. And he keeps on just
climbing. They're going to move out of the way.
The second he my guess, and this is probably way off, but my guess is by the third one, the crowd's eating it up so much. I would love to know if Seth, Bronson Reed, one of the producers, Jason Jordan, made the call of keep going, one more.
Yeah, so
he hits the fifth one.
I think that
one more
too. You go into that segment thinking okay, we're gonna do this, and it's in the heat of the moment, does he add another one or two?
Right.
You have to kind of feel.
I would love if that's
if the crowd wasn't feeling it, whatever, then maybe you stop after 3 or 4. But the crowd was into it, like we say, kept going, and I think it's logic. Again, backstage, I'm gonna make a statement. Bronson Reed, they call him Big Bronson Reed. He's almost 400 pounds, high-flying big man. This is how he should be. He should be dominating guys that are, because mostly everyone is smaller than him. Seth isn't a small guy. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", 2 whatever, great shape. But Bronson Reed is double his size. And it's he should be running over, steamrolling, tsunamiing these guys like he did to Seth. And honestly, it's about time that they kind of gave him this edge.
I imagine this is the Bronson Reed that they had in Japan.
Yeah,
and it's
Jonah.
Cool that we're this is the best and the coolest and the most impressive Bronson Reed has ever looked in the WWE.
I wonder if because when they had, was it Elimination Chamber in Australia? I think, but that's what it was. It was supposed to be Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, but I think it was a combination. I don't know if Seth still had a match or he was hurt at that point, but Bronson Reed, I think his wife gave birth, so he couldn't go to the event. It was a family thing, so that match kind of was scrapped. So I wonder if this is kind of hey, we'll get back to that later on. Also, this takes Seth away from CM Punk and Drew for a little bit too. So I think
let them do their thing,
because Drew and CM Punk are 100% either whether it's a three matches, or they're at least gonna have one more match.
Right.
So let them finish their thing out. Then you can bring Seth back into it.
Because as much as I love this little hate triangle. It's honestly one of my favorite feuds in recent memory. I love it, but there does need to be some one-on-ones.
WrestleMania is still 7-8 months away. Yeah. We have the seeds planted. The hatred isn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
You can revisit this in 6 months, and people are still going to be oh, I remember how much these guys hate each other. You don't have to rush into all this. You can spread it out a little bit.
They like you were saying, they Seth's spitting up blood, damn near puking up blood. Later in the night, they sold it as internal bleeding. This shit was crazy,
I also loved
dude.
the logic. Word of the podcast. Logic was people were tweeting. Adam Pearce was tweeting at people because they were like, "Where were you? I didn't stop anything." He goes, "I was trying to find Drew and CM Punk fighting." He goes, "If you think about it, Bronson Reed picked the perfect time to do this because I was unavailable." So that being a logic base, because he told Adam, "I'm going to do this," and then he did it when Adam wasn't around to quote unquote stop him. So just great, just overall, just tying everything together. Everything made sense. Bronson Reed is perceived as one of the bigger heels on the roster, now most dangerous heels on the roster. I love it. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Last thing we'll talk about before we get into the Patreon, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. Finish out Raw. First of all, we already talked about how good SummerSlam was, but I had a 9 out of 10. That was great.
I was just going to ask you what you would rate it.
I'd say 9, just because giving out a 10 is intense.
10 is a lot.
I'm giving it a 9.
I was going to say, I was going to say like a 9.2, 9.3.
Yeah.
I think it's not 9.5 because 9.5 is borderline perfect. But I do think it was better than a 9 because there wasn't anything about the show that I really disliked.
Agreed. I had a good time. All right, on Raw. Raw superstar, as we've known him, Odyssey Jones, finally shows up.
He's no longer a meme.
No
longer a meme.
This was cool. This for what it was cool. They're doing, which I don't even want to get into the whole. It's whatever.
Authors of Pain.
The Authors of Pain stuff. What I do like. They got Odyssey Jones in. Kofi's like. That's his guy.
I was like, rehabbing. We were boys.
Let's go.
Stuff.
Yeah, I met him at the Performance Center in this and blah blah. And Woods is still keeping on this he's unsure of their new friend. He's still unsure of the Final Testament. There's some animosity building. I don't know if this means that I don't know. They've been teasing a New Day breakup. But, I don't know what's going on, but
which I still think is stupid.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that, but just look at it's bigger E.
I guess
just the New Day with the Big E.
He got the Big E on Twitter, gave him the cosign.
Did he?
Yeah, he tweeted. Gotcha. He tweeted something. He was like, Odyssey Jones looks great. Blah blah.
I'll be honest with you. Him picking up both of Authors of Pain for the sidewalk slam. One of the most impressive things for strength-wise I've ever seen.
He looked fucking good. He was quick.
He is a big
he looked great. I'm excited to finally see him and see him on Raw.
Like the backstage segment, he's animated. Like it seems like he has a character. Like he's not just like a boring, just big guy. You know what I mean? He's got personality.
I made people are mad at me. I made a TikTok because I was ranking WWE tag teams, and the first tag team I got was Road Warriors. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, maybe I put them a little too low.
1 to 10?
Yeah, I put them at 5. Mm-hmm. But I put the first one I got, I didn't know what else the list had. I didn't know if it had bangers. Yeah, so I ended up getting like Hardys. Hardys went 1.
Of course, naturally.
I got Kane and Undertaker. They went 3.
Makes sense.
3 or 4, I forget. New Day, I slid in at 2. It went.
Hey, you want to go by accomplishments?
That's what they're the second longest reigning tag. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not. I mean, some people say they're the best faction ever, as far as they never broke up. Yeah,
sure. Right.
A ton of title reigns.
Now, all respect to the. I think all the people in the comments are all like people in their like 40s being like, well, no, the tag team I watched is the greatest tag team, and it's like, and it's like, well, but
it depends.
I left a comment saying like, someone was like, well, fuck you for putting New Day so high and over Road Warriors. And I was like, well, they are the second longest reigning tag team. And then someone said, grow up. That doesn't mean anything.
Grow
I'm like,
up.
All right.
Grow up. You're older than me, probably.
All right. Well, if we're not crediting scripted accomplishments, what the fuck are we counting?
You think New Day is better than Road Warriors? Kill yourself. Yeah, dude.
But like the fact that it was like if you can't use WWE championships and wins in an argument of who's better, it's all scripted. What are we talking about?
I feel like, I really miss making TikToks and getting those comments. I feel like I'm missing something right now, and it's like going back and forth with those people.
Getting mad at people.
One of my favorite things about being at Lumberland was going through the comments and seeing these keyboard warriors that will never meet me in their life or say these things to my face, say what they do in the TikTok comments. I love it.
And also, it was like,
you are a loser.
Like, Dante's favorite movie is Good Will Hunting.
What a pussy. What a pussy. What a pussy. Yeah, all right, buddy. Say that to my face. Like, I love
it. It was always, your favorite Cheez-It is white cheddar? Die.
literally jump off of a fucking 9-story building.
But point being, I don't think putting the New Day at 2 and over the Road Warriors. I think I rated Road. I don't think they should be a 5. I think within the list, I'd give them 4. Maybe even 3.
It's all subjective, and it's based off of what you're going, like accomplishments and accolades.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put New Day might be 1. They might be.
That's the thing.
I'd argue that they should be higher, not lower.
That's the
I
thing.
don't know. To that person that made that comment, go fuck yourself. I don't know.
It was multiple. It wasn't just one.
Multiple.
It was a lot of people,
bro. It's just wrestling. It's a fucking blind rank.
I'll show you that. Let me get the list, and we'll sign off. And go to
love
Patreon.
that shit. I need to start making TikToks again so I can just feed into the negativity.
See, that's what
I love the negative comments more than the positive ones, to be honest with you.
See, that's what makes me not want to make.
That's what puts a smile on my face is the negative comments.
See, that does the opposite for me. It makes me.
I want to make enemies. We're put on this earth to make enemies. At the end of the day.
All right. Here's my. All right. I got. And also, it's like the blind one, so it's like the random.
Yeah.
I ended with. I think it was pretty solid.
Okay.
I got Hardy's at 1.
Love it.
2 New Day. 3 DX. 4 Brothers of Destruction.
Yep.
5 Road Warriors. 6 Crime Time.
Okay.
7 The Bar.
Okay.
8 Street Profits. 9 Miz and Morrison. 10 Jericho.
Okay. So Hardy's New Day.
I'm surprised people aren't mad at DX being under New Day.
DX and
I think New Day at 2 makes so much sense.
Yeah, no, again, out of all those teams and accomplishments, they could be number 1.
Like, there's absolutely no argument for New Day at 1, and I said second longest tag title reign. Someone said that doesn't mean anything. Well, then what does mean?
Awesome.
What does mean anything?
Awesome. That's a great logic.
Oh my god, this guy doesn't know ball. Oh my god. Yeah, everyone's mad at and I'm not even.
Oh my
saying,
god, you put a tag team from the 80s and 90s at number 5 in a blind ranking. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, people. I do appreciate.
Are you a real wrestling fan?
I do appreciate the pro crime. I love Crime
Time was on.
Crime Time's so underrated.
I think they are one of the best teams that never won a tag team championship.
I saw you.
It's a crime that they never won a tag team championship.
Nice. There's a Where's Dante? There's a Where's Dante comment and just like a 60-second TikTok on my own. Hey,
where's the other one?
I saw your tweet, which I can't agree with you more.
About what?
Kendrick and London. Brian Kendrick and Paul London.
Oh my god, dude!
I love
growing
them, dude.
up. I
love them.
Like I talked about the very first SmackDown I watched, and the main event was like Brothers of Destruction versus. It's a combination of Booker T, MVP, and like Mr. Kennedy. It's two of those. I forget the combination, but like I remember because I would watch Smack. That was the first like weekly show I'd watch because Raw was Monday nights 9 to 11. My mom wouldn't let me stay up. SmackDown. Paul London and Brian Kendrick were the SmackDown team.
Yeah,
bro.
My God, they wore the masks
and God bless her. R.I.P. Ashley was my first wrestling crush.
I loved Ashley.
Loved her. So her being with them was like that was the cherry on top.
So
I'm like, this is a team. I love their attire, like the loose pants, and they wear the masks
or like the long shorts.
The long shorts. Oh, phenomenal. Yeah. That was like I
Sprint
saw that
to the ring.
I saw that, and it just brought back this wave of nostalgia, and I was like. Genuinely,
listen to their,
theme. If it wasn't for the Hardys, that would have been my favorite tag team.
Yeah,
honestly, genuinely.
Paul London does a lot of indie.
He does a lot of. I think didn't he do something recently? Local show.
Yeah, he pops up.
I did see that he does indie stuff. I think Brian Kendrick. Well, he got
kind of off his rocker a little.
Yeah, I don't know. Recently.
There we go.
Oh, that's Batista.
Wrong one.
I did a few.
Yeah, you want a little nostalgia.
Yeah, I want. Honestly, keep going.
Where are they?
There it is.
Is he gonna play their music? Oh no.
No.
Broke Boy by Playboy Cardi.
Go on YouTube. Go.
That's funny.
I remember when
this is a sick edit. This edit's crazy.
It was a sick edit, and they put in the 2K.
Yeah, why did they put the 2K
for whatever reason?
All right, I'm gonna look up there. This will be the last.
Dude, that attire is sick.
No, they're fucking crazy.
I love them.
I like the masks too.
Yeah, no, everything about them was great.
London, Kendrick.
Oh, Ariana Grande is a new Hot Ones guest. I could care less. You should
not Ariana.
You should watch the one with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I did.
So good.
Oh, I saw.
Funny.
Have you seen the new Deadpool movie yet?
No.
Okay.
I haven't.
Oh, we'll talk. We won't. Obviously, I guess we won't talk about that much then. But I did see it.
Did you? Okay.
We'll talk about it a little in the Patreon.
We'll get your thoughts without the spoilers.
Oh my God. Ad.
Oh, here we go.
This might be too loud.
The blue attire. I know, they were so
They look at each other and do a fucking backflip.
So good. Like, the theme song is very generic.
It's honestly not as good as I thought it was.
But it's like, but for what it is, like, they're just running down to the ring. They have no time to waste. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Great tag team.
With that said, we're going to jump over to the Patreon for the after party. Like I said, there's always a preview at the end, but we got a bunch of different stuff, some little news. We're going to talk about the Lucha Bros rumors. Yes. We're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to talk Claro. Ooh. And we got a bunch of different questions from the patrons yourself. So head over there, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling to support the channel, get the bonus episode, and get this ad-free and blah, blah. Until then, we'll see you over there, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you all week. Thank you for joining as always.
As always, boom. Peace.
The Claro music video.
I saw you were tweeting about it. Didn't watch it, but I did see it.
If I saw the Lucha Bros show up in NXT, the world-renowned Lucha Bros, I'd never watch WWE again.
At NXT, when I tell you, I've never put on a shoe, sandal, flip-flop that fit as perfectly as those.